Hi, this is Jason from Horrific Nightmares, and it's time for a controversial view. Today, we're going to be talking about Shirley Temple. Yes, Shirley Temple. And the movie we're going to be talking about is off of Volume 1, and it's called The Bluebird. This really surprised me. This is something that Joe was really familiar with because he watched it a lot when he was younger with his mom and with his grandparents. And I had seen some Shirley Temple too, when of course when I was younger. But this is one I never watched. How is it controversial? Whew. Well, The Bluebird was made in 1939, set to come out in 1940, and it was basically 20th Century Fox's answer to The Wizard of Oz. Now, The Wizard of Oz was released by MGM in 1940, and like I just said, this was supposed to be the answer. This was one of Shirley Temple's later movies, and the moral in the story, of the story rather, is to be happy with what you have, more or less. There are some other morals as well, but that leads Shirley Temple and Nelson Eddy, her little brother, to be kind of spoiled and ungrateful. And this movie, unlike Wizard of Oz, completely tanked at the box office. It actually cost $2 million to make it, which is huge for back then, and it completely flopped. Apparently, people didn't like seeing Shirley Temple as a little bratty kid because she's usually America's darling. Not only that, I'm going to remove this for a while. Not only that, but this was her first major flop, and basically the end of her career. She did do some other things later on, but she never gained the popularity that she had when she was younger. Now, granted, this was one of her last major films, and she was 11 at the time, but like I said, she really didn't do much afterwards, and her popularity was nowhere near what it had been. Controversial, yes, but there's more. A lot more. This movie is really, really dark. There are unborn babies that are supposed to go into the world. They talk about Lincoln freeing the slaves because he's one of the unborn babies. It's a very dark, dark film. Even, well, it has the same sort of premise where it starts in black and white and it goes to color. Now, it does it a lot quicker than The Wizard of Oz, if I remember correctly, because it's been a while, but we'll be touching on that soon as well. But wow, this movie is super dark. Dead grandparents, fathers going off to war. It's just a lot of really dark stuff in this film. An interesting thing, the lady that plays the human cat, because a cat gets turned into a human being, she was actually going out for the role of the Wicked Witch in Wizard of Oz, but she chose to do the Bluebird. Not a great decision. And the last thing I'm going to leave you guys with is probably the most controversial. In 1940, they had a live radio play that was supposed to go on for a half an hour. Well, apparently someone was obsessed with Shirley Temple and brought a gun to the set and tried to get at her while she was on stage. That blew me away. I mean, I understand how things are nowadays, but back then, I mean, people are people, so It's just, I guess, the way things are. But she had a stalker and an obsessed fan. So, very creepy. But they were able to get to him, of course, before he was able to do any kind of damage. Lots of controversy in this movie. Um, I definitely recommend people to watch this. Normally, Joe and I watch these movies so you don't have to. This, however, is a different kind of film for Shirley Temple. She's usually the Miss Goody Two Shoes by the numbers. So cute, dimples, this, that, and the other thing. This was very different. Very, very different. So, if there's some way to watch it, I definitely suggest it. I was pretty much blown away. The set pieces were gorgeous, and it's actually a very well made film. If you can get past the unlikable kids. But things do change in the film. It's meant to be the moral of the story. So there was a reason why she was acting the way she was. So, but definitely check out Joe's controversial view for The Bluebird and Physical Media Matters. And until next time, peace.